What happens is the closer that we get to a recital, and depending on how much the student has been working on the piece outside of the lessons, is how much we have to really focus on getting ready for the recital. And it's super fun. I find it to be super fun. In best case scenarios, we're just spending a few weeks out from the lesson and we don't really have to table the skills or the foundation work. But in other cases, some certain students, and many, to be honest with you, I've seen this, many teachers are all about just teaching pieces. There's no skill building, there's no lesson book. It's just keep working for the recital. And if a student isn't practicing at all outside of a lesson, and you've picked out a reasonably difficult piece, then that has to happen. The teacher has to get the student ready in the lesson. So keep that in mind, parents, that can be what's going on there, and each teacher has to deal with each student and where they're at. Now, I will say it's not completely terrible if a student is only learning pieces, because every song will teach you things as well. And this is what autodactyls do. You learn a lot just from the songs. You really do, because this is what I always try to explain to students, like, there's an exponential growth that's happening. So the first song that you're trying to learn, and I'm going to speak to adults about this big time, because a lot of adults just they get a piano and then they just start learning pieces. And there's nothing wrong with this method, okay? Here's why. Because every single piece that you're learning is building the synapses. You're learning these patterns. You're learning particular things from that song. And then the next time you go to a new song, that's in your skill bag, okay? Now, maybe it's particular to one key or one tempo. Maybe it's a little bit rigid in how you've learned it, but you still learned it, right? And then when you go to the next song, then you'll learn more from that song. And so exponentially, everything grows from there for you. But like I said, there is the small problem of if this is the only method that you do, that there could be holes in your foundation, right? Because if your teacher's picking out the songs, they might actually have a method for making sure that you get the breadth of different variety of things in your music. And conceivably, the more advanced you get, the more you're going to see everything in a song, even in one song, right? But it can also be a less gratifying way, because sometimes in the beginning, I have adults, and I did this myself. I picked up a song that I've been working on for 20 years, and I picked it up like the first week that as an adult I picked up my instrument again, right? And it was painstaking, just night after night, like pinging away, bing, bing, bing at these notes, because I just dove in the deep end. And so when what we do with young students, and what it's wise to do as an adult, is to go ahead and, if you want to do that, great, but also have other songs that you're able to learn within a month, right? Or that you get to that performance place quicker with. So there's a little bit of gratification there.